let's talk about meditation. Now, if you don't know what meditation is or never heard of it, hello, Patrick Starr, nice to meet you, because clearly you've been living under a rock your whole life. But to keep it simple, meditation is really just anything that puts you in the now moment. Some people have the wrong idea and think that meditation is only when you're sitting in the lotus position, alming the whole entire time with your eyes closed. And that's just not the case. Meditation is really just anything that puts you in the now. All right, so if going on walks helps clear your mind, helps you put you in the moment, then that could be your form of meditation. But now that you have a general idea of what meditation is, let's just go over some of the benefits, because some people have the wrong idea and think that meditation is all cap and think that it's not true at all. And those are the type of people that either never meditated before a day in their life, or they only gave it like 3 attempts max, and then they experienced nothing, so they called it fake. Listen, if you only gave it 3 attempts, of course you're not going to experience anything. Some people go into meditation with some crazy expectations. They hear about meditation, they think, oh, I'm going to try to meditate once, and then all of a sudden, I'm gonna become a Buddhist monk. Like, that's not how it works. It's just like anything else in life. It actually takes practice to get good at it. You think someone hops on a bike first attempt and all of a sudden goes and makes it to the Olympics for bike riding? Obviously not. So meditation is no different. Obviously, you're not gonna hop into it first time and have some crazy out-of-body experience. I mean, you might. Everyone's different. Some people actually do have some crazy experiences first time. But now that you know that it's really not cap, I'm about to tell you guys some of the benefits that I've experienced and some of the benefits that you could potentially experience too. So really, number one is it really just helps you clear your mind. So many people be having all sorts of crazy thoughts, all sorts of crazy stresses and anxieties and fears. And that's really just because your mind's on overload. Think of it as like some email, and your mind has like a gazillion emails from all different sources coming in, and you just haven't cleared it. Meditation is literally like clearing your old emails and deleting what no longer is needed. And if you're not going to clear them, of course it's just going to get worse and worse. You're just going to get flooded with more and more thoughts. That's why so many people be suffering from negative thoughts, all sorts of fear, stress, and anxiety, because they haven't took control of their mind. And that's benefit number two. Benefit number two is it helps you gather control of your mind. I don't think people realize how important this actually is, because a lot of people have zero control over their mind, and they literally have no control at all. They're basically just on autopilot. And basically what people have to realize is you are actually your mind. I mean, think about it. What makes you do the things that you do every single day, whether it's subconsciously or consciously? A thought, right? Let's say you went to go make breakfast this morning. You had a thought to do that, whether you're aware of it or not. Because if you didn't have a thought about it, that means you subconsciously had a thought about it. Or chances are you're probably like, oh, what do I want for breakfast? I'm hungry. That means you had a thought to go do that. Before you ever do anything, it's always a thought first, whether you realize it or not. You to go make breakfast, you to make an invention. All the things that you have in your life, they all were invented by a thought. Obviously, you have to think of something before it can be invented, which is up here in your mind. You are literally your mind. Everything you do is controlled by your mind. All the other body parts are just a product of your mind having control over it. Your whole entire body literally sends signals to your mind because you are the mind. So meditation helps you take control of your mind, once again, which is the real you. I mean, your soul is basically in your mind. They say the pineal gland is the seat of the soul, and the pineal gland is literally located in the mind. So your soul is literally in your brain. So obviously, it would be a no-brainer that you'd want to have control of your mind, since you are the mind. So that's benefit number two. It literally helps you get control and helps you remove any thoughts that aren't yours, which leads me into benefit number three. It helps you control your thoughts. People have so many thoughts every single day, and it just be taking control of them, and it really just puts you outside the now moment. And I'm gonna be honest with you, almost all the thoughts you be having aren't even yours. Like, thoughts be coming from all sorts of different places, and realistically, you are not your thoughts. I'm gonna try my best to explain this, but it's one of those things that you kind of have to understand that is really kind of hard to explain. But basically, imagine that you're yourself before you ever have a thought, right? Imagine you have a clear, refreshed mind, and you're yourself, right? And then a thought comes in, and obviously you know that thoughts never last forever. Like, you have a thought and then it goes, right? So you're yourself before a thought came, and you're still going to be yourself when a thought leaves. So you're never that thought to begin with. And on top of that, I could literally send thoughts into your brain right now. Think of a giraffe with a short neck. I guarantee you just thought of a giraffe with a short neck, didn't you? You want to know why? Because I just implemented that thought into your brain. Was that your thought? No, it wasn't, because it was my thought that I sent towards you. So basically, you either be having other people's thoughts, or you be having thoughts that aren't even yours, and those be controlling people's lives. So when you meditate, it literally helps you remove any thoughts that aren't yours, that are not needed. Some thoughts are cool, but other thoughts be intruding people's minds, and meditation just helps wipe those away. Benefit number 4 is that it helps put you in the now moment. People need to realize that the only thing that exists is the now. All right, the past doesn't exist because it's literally just your imagination of what you remember happening to you. And also doesn't exist because whatever happened in the past is concrete. It already happened. So you cannot interact with the past. Unless you invent some kind of crazy time machine, you cannot go back in the past and change what already happened. It's already set in stone. So you can't interact with the past, therefore it doesn't exist. It's literally just your imagination at this point. And the future doesn't exist because it's also your imagination. Like, no one can predict the future in detail by detail what's going to happen. Like, yeah, you can predict things here and there, and you could be like, oh, this is going to happen in the future because I did this and I already know this is going to happen, but you're not going to know every last detail that's going to happen in the future. Plus, people try to predict the future all the time and it never goes exactly as planned. So that doesn't exist because you can't interact with the future either. And you can be like, oh, well, the future exists because I'm about to be there. All right, when you actually enter the future, when you enter the so-called future, by the time you get there, it will be the now. All right. And the way to control the future is to do things in the now. Things that you do in the now moment impact how your future is going to outplay. So the future doesn't exist because you can't even interact with it. You don't even know what's going to happen exactly detail by detail. So how does it exist? There's really no point of thinking too much about the future because you never really know what's going to happen. Literally a whole entire blackout could happen right now. And did anyone prepare for that? No. So there's no point of being so stressed about the past or the future. So many people be having so much depression, fear, stress, and anxiety. You want to know where depression comes from? Worrying too much about the past, about something that might have happened to you that you can no longer change. And then fear, stress, and anxiety comes from worrying about the future, which you cannot predict or control. I mean, you can semi-control it by doing things in the now, but at the end of the day, you can't really know exactly what's going to happen in the future. So the best way to combat depression, fear, stress, and anxiety is to live in the now moment. If you live in the now, you won't have anything to be depressed about. If you live in the now, you won't have anything to be anxious over because anxiety is literally just your mind making up some fake illusions of some potentially bad things that could happen to you in the future. So if you live in the now moment and you're fully in the now, you won't have any of those. Those won't even exist anymore. So that's another reason why meditation is amazing, because it removes anything any emotions that don't serve you. All right. Now let's get into benefit number 5. Is that you can receive endless amounts of wisdom, guidance, and answers from the source, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. I look at it like this. You ask the creator for some answers, wisdom, and guidance, and then you use meditation as a way to clear your mind so you can remove anything that isn't from the source, and you can have a clear mind to actually receive answers from God. Because how do you expect God to send you answers if your mind is on overload? Like, think about as like emails again. I'm gonna use the email example. Think about it as you having a million emails that you haven't checked. God might have sent you an email in there, but you haven't checked it and cleared anything, so you can't even tell that God emailed you. Like, it's just like that. So if you don't clear your mind, how are you going to actually receive guidance from God? Like, is it like, use the email analogy. Like, it makes sense when I put it into that perspective. So meditation really just helps you clear your mind so you could always be in the now, be your best self, and really just receive answers from source whenever you need some guidance. Right, benefit number 6, and this is the last one I'm going to give you guys because this video is already long enough, is that it helps you detach from your ego and helps you become your highest self. Now, if you don't know what your highest self is, it's basically just the real you, aka your soul, and your ego is just the avatar/character that you're using to have this human experience. Okay, no matter what we believe in, we could all agree that we're having a human experience. Whether you're atheist, Christian, Muslim, whatever, it doesn't even matter. We could all agree that we're having a human experience. And if you believe in some type of afterlife, you basically believe that this body is not the real you, because you believe that once this body is gone, you still live on, right? So how could you be this body if you live on and past this body? So clearly you're not this body to begin with. You're usually simply using this body to have this human experience. So basically, that's your ego. Whatever your name is, that's the name of your avatar. That's not even the real you. So basically, meditation helps you detach and really become the observer, because at the end of the day, nothing's real. We simply just observe everything. Think about it. Thoughts. How can you think a thought? Think a thought in your head right now, right? Say something in your head. You can hear, right? Because you're observing it. Like, how could you observe the thought? Because you're simply just the observer. Everything is really, you're just experiencing and observing everything. Think about it. Every thought you have, you're observing them. You're just experiencing them. You're not actually the thoughts. It's same thing with emotions. When you become happy, you're not actually happy. You're simply just experiencing what it's like to be happy, because you can experience happiness and then the happiness goes away. So you're not actually the happiness. You're just experiencing it. You're just simply here to experience and to observe everything. Nothing's actually real at the end of the day. It's just all an experience. So meditation has really helps you detach from the ego and realize what life truly is to a certain extent. I mean, no one really knows what life truly is. No one really knows anything. We're just all here to experience, and life ain't even serious. But hey, thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far, I really love and appreciate you. Thank you for watching this whole entire video. And make sure to subscribe if you haven't already for some more daily bangers like this one, for some more real valuable content that really just will change your life. And if you guys want to see a video of how to meditate and how I meditate, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and go ahead and comment that you guys want a video on how to meditate, because I'll give you guys a whole separate video on how to meditate. So make sure to like this video for that one. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another daily video. Hey, bye. I love you guys. Let's get it. Caw-caw!